Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. As we can see here, this roundabout and connection we made here has started to ease up traffic on this highway. Now, a lot of that did get rerouted to these roads here, but the only reason this is all backed up is because this roundabout couldn't let people onto the highway because it was already full of traffic. So now that everyone's able to start going around the roundabout and get onto this highway again, this will clear up, which means that these roads will begin to clear up, and hopefully that will solve our issues, at least in this area. Now, we do have issues here still, which is really not something we want. As we can see, all of our oil trucks are stuck in this traffic. So I think we might add a roundabout so that our trucks can get into here. We'll have a separate road for that, and we can keep all this traffic moving because this traffic light just keeps starting and stopping traffic, and then everyone just wants to get in one lane to turn. So if we can get a roundabout going, that will hopefully ease up on all of the stop and go traffic here. So let's begin this by demolishing some of these roads. So what we can do then is add a fairly large roundabout. I think the bigger we can have it, the better, just so it allows more cars onto the road there. So yeah, let's add this one here. We'll connect up our huge 6-lane road. We might have to go back one more segment. So we'll grab this and connect it up to this roundabout. We should try to get it to be as straight as possible, although I'm not too sure if we can get it to snap like that. I think that's about as close as we're gonna get. And then we can grab these and bring them around so that they connect up to this roundabout pretty straight on. So I think that's pretty good. And then what I would like to do is add this truck stop onto the roundabout. Now hopefully this doesn't create loads of issues for us with traffic and sort of logistical things. So we'll need to keep an eye on it, as it says there's too much slope. So maybe we can pull it off of somewhere else. We want to still try to get a pretty straight on approach here so that the cars don't have to slow down too much. And we can do that so this is still connected to the truck stop. And I think we're okay to let this run. So hopefully now we'll see cars start using all of the lanes of the roundabout, and they won't be stopping and going as much as they were before. Alright, so while we let this run and hopefully get better, let's take a look at some other areas that need some help. So it appears this highway is completely jammed. This goes all the way back to here, and it seems like they're all trying to get into Cedar Rapids, which there's not much traffic coming into Cedar Rapids. It seems like it's all going out of Cedar Rapids, and I think it's trying to get into Tucson over here, because they have to make a left turn, and then our infrastructure getting into the city here isn't really the best. And then it looks like, following this traffic even more, our road into Lexington is giving us a lot of trouble. So I think this is just a whole mess that we sort of need to tackle one at a time. And I think how we're gonna solve some of these issues is with extending this highway. We sort of left this open-ended a few videos ago, and I think it's about time we connect everything up. So, first thing I'd like to do is just upgrade the infrastructure in these cities. So, upgrading this road, coming all the way into Cedar Rapids here, and improving some of the roads. That should help get some people flowing a little better. And I think our main road in Tucson should be a 4-lane road. So cutting all the way through the city, we'll give it 4 lanes. And I know this road doesn't directly connect up to the exit road here, but I think having this will help just enough. We'll extend this one as well, just to help define sort of the high traffic areas. And then, of course, coming into Lexington, we can't really upgrade this road as we're bound by this truck stop. And here, I think later in this video, we're gonna take a look at this area and fix it up, provide some more connections. I think one quick connection that could help is sort of this corner over to this corner. That's a pretty short connection. And I'm not too sure about crossing the train tracks. The sort of natural growth isn't doing it, so I don't really know if I want to do that right now. So before we go back to extending our highway, it does seem like this entire area cleared up, which is amazing to see. All of our traffic issues, at least between Lexington and Bridgeport, are solved. And this area's could use a little work. But again, we're keeping our work focused over here. And then checking back up on this roundabout, it does seem like this is getting much better. This line is a lot shorter than it was before. And some of this bridge traffic here is definitely still moving. So just to sort of define what I think we're gonna do, I think what we're gonna do is extend the highway across here, and we'll terminate it out by Victorville, and then somewhere in this open field we'll break it off so that people can get into Tucson and Lexington. So I think that's what we're gonna do. That seems like the easiest and most logical way, because if we try to take this straight over to Lexington, we'll basically have to tunnel our entire way under this mountain ridge here, which we definitely don't want to do that. So we'll bring it through this mountain and connect it up to Victorville, and have another branch that sort of passes through this way into Lexington. So one thing I want to try that we haven't really done before is setting up our interchanges before we build the highway. I think before we sort of dictated where intersections would go based on where our highway was placed, but I think I want to place down sort of the key intersections and then just simply connect those up by highway. This field isn't as flat as I thought it was, so I think what we're going to do is bring it down just a little bit more This road actually doesn't connect to anything, so we can get rid of this once we start building. And I think I'm just going to flatten out and smooth a little area for us to build our interchange on. Alright, so now we have this little flat area we can just place this intersection on. And I think that'll work out just fine for us. And then shortly after this one, we'll place down another one right about here to head into Tucson. So these are going to be sort of two interchanges pretty close to each other, but they shouldn't really affect each other in terms of traffic. And then from here, this will just come over and right into Lexington. So now that we have those placed and ready, we can just simply grab our highway, grab the ends of this, and let's see what we get if we just straight up connect it like this. We get a pretty decent connection, actually. I really like the large smooth curve, and the spacing hopefully should work out. Although I think we have issues here with the bridges, or the tunnels, I mean. That's unfortunate. So let's bring this out and see if we can get it as close as we can and still look pretty reasonable. So this isn't terrible. I think we'll go with sort of this connection, and we'll do it up like that. So from the top down, it doesn't look too bad, actually. I think we'll just roll with it. And then between these two, we can just connect them up like this. These connect up just fine. And now I believe the only thing left to do is connect each one of our dead-end interchanges to these three cities. Alright, so just outside of Tucson, I've added a roundabout that we'll connect to at this interchange. So all we should have to do is grab this and drag it right into the roundabout like this, and then grab another one coming off right about there and drag it to this connection. So we'll come in and smooth some of this out so that it looks just a little bit more natural. And then once we're done here, we can head over to our next city. So now this is all smoothed out and it doesn't look too bad. I think the next city we're gonna head to is probably Lexington over here. Alright, so here's our next roundabout in the city of Lexington. We've connected up some of the nearby roads. Had to delete a little bit, but hopefully the city will rebuild around it and fill in naturally. And now all we should need to do is take this and work our way over to that roundabout. Alright, so as you can see here, we're pretty much able to just connect these straight up to the roundabout. We got connections here and here, and I think there's big enough space between each connection to not have any issues, and the highway looks pretty good coming through here. Now, the final thing we have to do is connect up to Victorville, and that should pretty much be it. So let's set up the roundabout, and then we can work on getting the highway in here. Alright, so here's the roundabout. We'll probably almost definitely need to upgrade this road in the future, but we'll leave it for now and see how much traffic we get coming through here. So now we should just need to weave our way through this valley and through the mountains, and we should connect up with almost no issues at all. Okay, so now we've connected this highway up to the roundabout here. We might toss in 1 or 2 more connections just to spread out the traffic when it comes to Victorville here, but other than that, I think we're pretty much ready to just hit play and hopefully see some demand build up on here. Lastly, I think while we wait for our traffic in other areas to sort of build up, I want to add a roundabout here. This is a pretty high traffic area and it's a highway, so having these people stop and yielding and making everyone else stop doesn't quite seem realistic. So here we can just add a small roundabout, and then it's only a connection of 3 roads, so it doesn't really matter how these connect up here. They should have more than enough space to not get in each other's way. Now this is causing a lot of the traffic to turn back around, but they should come right back as soon as they realize this connection is made. Now I forgot we mentioned this earlier in this video, so this is actually going to be the last thing we're going to do in this episode, and that's fix this road that comes into Lexington. We definitely need probably a 4-lane road connecting these 2 cities, and we need to get rid of this bottleneck that sits at this construction materials plant. So we're going to have to pause this since this is a pretty vital section of the city and our transportation network. So we'll have to delete that and delete the road that comes here. We'll have to rebuild this as a 4-lane road right across like that. So we can then get rid of these, or yeah, this road here. And I suppose we can just bring it straight out to here. I really don't like these intersections, how they're sort of lining up. So maybe we can get this to work out a little bit better. Because, of course, we want as few intersections as possible. We will connect this road up to here, and then we should be able to just upgrade this road all the way back to the city here. We can just upgrade this until it gets to our other main roads. So now, the only thing left that we should need to do is rebuild our truck station here. We'll give them a bit more space and a bit longer of a run up. So that should work out there. Maybe we'll throw on a storage building and then just make sure these are coming in 2 different terminals. Everything should function as normally, and hopefully the traffic isn't quite as bad. Because I believe getting onto this street was a sort of bottleneck before, since this was only a 2-lane road. So now we'll just redo some of our connections that were here, such as this road, if we can snap to the end of it and just place it back like this. And then we might as well add that road because I'm sure it would try to do it and add an intersection here, which is what we don't want. And then, of course, we'll clean up this and connect it to that intersection. So hopefully that eases some of the traffic on this road. If we look back here, these are all doing fine, although it does seem like now our issues come with getting into Bridgeport. I'm not too sure where this is going. I think they might be going through Bridgeport over to one of these cities or into Alexandria. So that tells us we probably want to begin to expand our train line that follows the river here. Maybe we bring it into Murrieta or Huntsville, or maybe we can turn it into Alexandria to sort of our main passenger station here. We'll have to sort of find the source and reason for this traffic, but for now I think it's just fine how it is. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for our traffic issues in this area. And then I just want to check up here. Although there is still traffic here, it does seem to be flowing much better than it did before. We're at least getting a little more consistency with our truck traffic. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.